So let's first start with the big news, which is Kevin Durant is no longer a Phoenix Sun. He is now part of a Rockets team that finished with the second best record in the NBA, Şengün, and they're getting Clint Capella back. You have Amen Thompson and all of the guys, minus Dylan Brooks, the instigator, and you lose Jalen Green. Did they get significantly better over the weekend?
Significantly better? I don't know about that. Are they a better team, a contending team? Yes.
Well, they were already a contending team, but
were they? Or were they just one of those teams that was young, and so they played harder in the regular season, and then the minute that push went to shove, they got ousted pretty quickly.
Fair enough.
Their issue was they were great defensively.
Yep.
They were poor offensively. And so you move on from Jalen Green, who kind of turned into a ball stopper and really didn't show up in the postseason.
Yep.
Dylan Brooks, instigator, defensive player. You already had a few of those guys, and they were younger and cheaper.
Yep.
So you move on and you make the trade for KD. You get instant offense that way. While I do think he is a regression from where he had been previously.
Sure. I mean, he's 36?
I think he's 37.
Let's check.
It's a slight regression, right? He's still a bucket getter, and he's going to go get a bucket, and he's going to be able to get a bucket until the day that he retires, right? Sure. So you went instant offense, and I love that.
26.6 points per game, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, shot 52%.
You've now cleared up
pretty good.
You've cleared up space for Amen Thompson to grow, right? Because now he's going to be more of your primary guard, ball handler type of situation. Defensively, he's been awesome. Lacks a little bit, still a little bit raw offensively. Well, now here's the time for you to grow. You re-sign Smith, who has turned in a little bit to a corner three-point shooter, but at times has shown that he can be more than that. He's on a team-friendly deal to where if it doesn't work out there, he could be a piece that you move on from in a year or two. All of these things are true.
Kevin Durant, 36 years old, by the way.
Congratulations to him. Happy birthday.
Yeah. Well, birthday.
What I worry about with
September
this team,
29th. So by the
happy early birthday.
By the time the season starts, he will be 37.
Okay. What I worry about is, are you good enough to now beat the Thunder?
Yeah.
And I don't think
the whole league is now asking that question.
Right. Are they good enough to beat Denver? And I don't know that they're good enough to beat Denver either. They are clearly improved, and I do think that they have a shot to have a better run in the postseason. I still think I'd take Minnesota, Denver, and the Thunder to beat them in a 7-game series.
Well, it's been said, and at least what I read, that Kevin Durant and the Rockets both mutually would like to see him end his career there. Is a 36, 37 by the time the season starts, Kevin Durant a guy that you can build a championship team around? Like, are the Rockets missing another piece? Maybe. But if Kevin Durant is your centerpiece, is your primary scorer, is he, or is there anybody else on this roster that can take over the mantle and be the centerpiece, the MVP candidate, the Shea, and then you've got Kevin Durant as a secondary scorer? Is that a team that you can build a championship around?
I think, and I'm going to push back on you on him being the primary piece. Offensively, yes,
yeah,
he is. He is for sure the primary scorer. But I do think the way that this team is going to go is going to be based on Amen Thompson. Amen Thompson is going to be the person that they build the team around. He is the star. The team will be built to help push him forward, right? Okay. He seems to have all the athleticism, all the makings. He plays hard defense. Offensively, he's not quite there yet.
Yeah.
But he's showed signs of improvement every single year, right? And as long as he, keeps hitting those marks, keeps working hard, now he gets to learn from Kevin Durant, one of the 20 best players ever to play the game.
Okay.
That's someone that can help him grow and take that next step forward. And it's the same thing for Jabari as well, Smith.
Yeah.
So I think it was the right decision to go get KD in the short term and in the long term, because you're better offensively and he can help show these guys how to be true pros. Clint Capella, great backup center, plays a completely different style than Şengün, but if you need 15 minutes off the bench from him, I think that's
Steven Adams in there as
Steven Adams, you still have the enforcer. I just don't.
That's why letting Dylan Brooks go, I don't think is as big of a deal as some people
Agreed.
would make it out, because they love Dylan Brooks because he was a Duck, and they hate Dylan Brooks because he's an a-hole.
Right.
All the things. But yeah, I think if you still have Steven Adams on the court, if somebody goes after one of your stars, I think you've got that role filled.
You've got the enforcer. You've got the Marty McSorley to your Wayne Gretzky.
That's right. That's right.
My fear, though, with this team, or I guess not my fear, the reason why I don't think that they are a true blue title contender to me is when they run into Minnesota, when they run into Denver, when they run into the Thunder, because they're going to have to run into at least one, if not two of those teams to get through the West. If everyone is 100% healthy, they aren't beating one of those teams.
I noticed you didn't mention the Blazers in there.
I did not.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if that was just omission or if that was intentional.
Well, everyone knows that the 4th and 5th year leaps are the biggest leaps that any individual player can make. And watch out, I have a Rookie of the Year ticket on Yankees.
Hey,
I'm fully bought in.
What are the odds?
150 to 1.
I
think
that's worth a 10 spot.
It might be 200 to 1.
That's even more worth a 10 spot.
Long way to go.
Look, I like the moves the Rockets made. I think it's overvalued, though, to a degree. At one point, they were the second favorite in the betting markets to win the NBA title. And it's all because of Kevin Durant. Now, they've come back a little bit since more moves have been made.
Yeah.
But in my eyes, there's one more piece, or someone or a couple of someones need to take steps forward that we haven't seen them take yet.
You mean like Jalen Green, who they traded away? That I think they overpaid slightly for Kevin Durant. I like the trade.
Well, you have to make room for him on the roster and
payroll.
And payroll.
You can't get over the second apron. I get that, but that's the thing is the Rockets move. I think you guys kind of put this perfectly. They move maybe into the second tier,
but they're already in the second tier. That's the thing.
To the top of the second tier, then
maybe.
But they still could get third in the West. Like overall, I don't think that they're gonna, even during the regular season, unseat anybody else.
They got second last year.
Yeah, so I think it makes them immediately more interesting.
Agreed.
Deal with the Mavs and Spurs getting better this year, man.
I think that seeing Kevin Durant with a team around him that can actually do something. I mean, the move to Phoenix was one of the more disappointing moves, but so was the Brooklyn experiment.
Right.
So and as successful as they were, his leaving Oklahoma City and going to Golden State is still one of the more blasphemous moves in the history of professional sports, where you can't beat the team that's winning the championship in a game 7, so you join them. So I think he needs redemption as much as anybody in sports right now. And so if he can go and take a young team that proved they can get the second overall seed without him.
Great coach too, by the way.
If he can't make it work, I mean, this is a final opportunity to set a legacy. I mean, he's great.
Right.
He's great for Team USA, but Team USA was going to win without him. This team kind of needs him. I mean, they need more offense, and he is more offense for all teams, but maybe one or two that have these superstars out there. So there's not a lot of guys that are better than Kevin Durant and have a body of work comparable. So to me, it's just the ultimate, prove it that you can be that leader and you can be that guy to take the rest of this team, because there's a lot of really exciting young talent. I mean, you've got multiple all-stars on the team. It's going to be fun to watch, but I don't know if Kevin Durant's that guy. He's never been that guy. So it's a good move. I think it's a good move all around. When you look at Houston, already they're going to be on more people's radar. Because how many times last year you go, is this Houston team going to keep winning like this?
Well, they were the ultimate, and I mean the Blazers had this a couple times where it was like, hey, that's really cool what you're doing in the regular season right now.
Kings are the most recent one,
right?
Other than the. Yeah.
I don't buy you in the postseason.
Cavs, I guess.
Cavs
did it even better.
They were the second seed in the West.
In a loaded West.
And Golden State was favored to win that series over them. So, hey, man, that's awesome. But they clearly had to make a move and take a step forward, and they did. Yep. And as a fan of someone who watches a franchise that didn't take any swings, I applaud them for taking a swing. And if it works out, you talked about Brooklyn not working out. if he wears a size 14 shoe instead of a 15, that's a 3-pointer that he hits. And they beat Milwaukee, and that Milwaukee team won the championship that year. So transitive property, we're going to say they would have won. Then everyone talks about that Brooklyn team being great. I know it's playing the results, but all I'm saying that is, if in Kevin Durant's time, however long that is in Phoenix, if they get to an NBA championship and they bring one back to Houston for the first time since Olajuwon was there, it will be viewed as the smart transition, smart decision, smart trade. Matt Stafford in LA, he won one.
We won enough.
Now everyone talks about it being a great trade for the city of LA.
Well, but look at the Western Conference last year. You have Shea as the clear leader of the Oklahoma City Thunder. You look at the Nuggets, and it's obviously Jokic. You look at Steph and LeBron and Ant, and go through that list. The team that didn't have a guy that was the guy was the Rockets. And now they do.
And potentially a guy could grow into more. In Amen Thompson.
This is
for sure.
This is definitely a huge shot by a very emboldened franchise. They just extended Ime Udoka, a month ago. They extended their GM last year. So it's obvious these guys are taking this next 3-year period or so, and they're like, you know what, we're shoving our chips all in. I like that, but it's just not a guarantee going forward. Kevin Durant does play well with others. He's been on every team he's gone to, Brooklyn, Golden State. He fits in. Phoenix, he fit in. He'll score 20, 25 a game for you. But once again, Houston, yes, they were in second place in the West, guys. They were also only separated by 4 games from the 8th team in the West, the Memphis Grizzlies. So this could go really good for them, or this could go kind of mediocre.
Well, like I said, they immediately become more interesting.
That's true.
That's for sure. So speaking
Kevin
of
Durant lobbed to Şengün, yes, please.
I'm excited for it. It'll be fun to watch. The NBA makes everything so convoluted in the offseason, and the fact that this was a 7-team trade and really essentially 3 guys traded places, it's ridiculous. But that's the way they do things because they can't make it simple.